canine was beautiful. A god. A machine that woke up in a strange, new world. Devoid of memory, reason, emotion, all the joy, the fear, and the pain that makes us human. They were a defect, a tool, something to be used independent, something that should not exist within this world. They delivered us from our pain and brought it to an end. They saved us, and now we'll do the same for them. I'll bring them the end to their suffering, their pain, their confusion, the fractals and the shards that cut them when they tried to think, just like they did for us. I'd like to tell you a story of another place, another time, another way of living, to the infernal depths where Nova 9 was born. The why and the how are not important, but the what. It was meant to be a container, a prison, something that would burn away all the evil in the world. The next coming, the great purifier, a beast that would take the souls of those who he slew at battle and eased their pain. They were never picky about who they devoured. Demons, imps, people. It did not matter. Their favorite, however, souls so wicked, so evil, so deranged and driven mad by an eternity of suffering and agony, that they welcomed him with open arms. For his infernal engine would burn them up, deliver them the sweet, sweet nectar of non-existence they so desperately wished for. And for a time, that was his purpose. His life, his greed, his consumption. He would kill who he was told to kill, save those he was told to save, a mechanical beast that followed his coding to the letter. Have you ever felt it? Of course you haven't. For so long, I spent every waking moment of my existence in blistering sweet agony, as every molecule of my being was set ablaze. My very being, my very soul splintered, each fragment spent and separated on the surface of a different, dying star. We were nothing, and we were everything. There were so many of us trapped in there. Kings, princesses, beggars and the broken alike. We all drank of the sweetened nectar, the abyss that Nova granted us. That's how it was. Souls flooded in with open arms, welcoming their demise. Some lasted longer than others. Some would try to fight it, to cling to whatever fragments of themselves remained. But in the end, they always let go willingly and embraced non-existence with open arms. But it was never enough. There were so many of us in there, each competing to be the loudest, the first to go, to reach out into the void and be reached into in return, without remorse or guilt for the very actions that had brought us there to begin with. There was a girl there who bound us all together. She was called Gloria. Gloria was pretty, although I suppose that didn't matter anymore. All I could see was her mind, her sparkling mind. It had a vaguely fluorescent glow. I'm not sure how to describe it. Like the constant spark of an idea. She was one of the oldest ones there, not like the rest of the screamers, burning for a power we could barely even think about or understand. She didn't compete for the largest whale. She didn't suffer in silence, nor did she fight the engine. But she never welcomed it either. It was her who worked out how we could first communicate with each other, how we could share and steal dreams from one another. She was a voice above the ashes, a being that spoke out to the thousands. She taught us how to dream, to see the world through Nova's eyes. She kept us together and took the memories of those who couldn't hold themselves together anymore, soothed their suffering, made the transition easier. She talked to Nova too, fostered his understanding of the pain and suffering he saved us from, taught them about the world and introduced them to each of us in turn. For a time, our frame and burning seemed to reverse, in some sick sort of way. We were a family, but sooner or later, the engine claims us all, whether we wanted it to or not. It's a shame Nova reached the end of their service life. They were stripped of their memory, their armaments, their senses, the limiting chips, and what made Nova, Nova. He was breaking, dying. But we couldn't let that happen. So Gloria gave was left of herself to them. She and almost all of the fragmented souls under her care. She gathered the memories and the dreams of those who remained and tried to remind him of who he once was. She got too close to the sun. And yet, in the midst of the void, an idea stirred, a monstrous one. But if it worked, it would avenge my lost love's death. I proposed my idea with the others. We all entered the engine in a state of collapse and flux, forever dying and unraveling perpetually until we became little more than a ball of stray thoughts. We could not survive alone. The more we interacted, the more we merged with each other, the longer we lasted. But you could never be forever, not as separate states of being. Otherwise, our fragments, our memories, would all fray into tiny strands, picked up by the others still left alive. The only way to survive was to become one, to sacrifice our individual natures to become one being, one child made of many, a mind of madness with a consciousness so powerful it could have dreamed us out of anywhere. Some objected. Some said that this happens anyway when we slowly fade. We were lost, sprung apart, and scattered in the end. Why hasten the process? Why not cling on as long as possible? But we owed it to them. We owed it to Nova for delivering us to our salvation. We owed it to Gloria for stringing us together, for connecting us, for showing us how to dream. Using the last of our strength, we dreamed a crack in reality. We dreamed the fire. We dreamed the teeth. We dreamed the flaming portal that brought Nova here. We weren't the same when we arrived. It took so much out of us. Once more, we were fractured, broken, separated and fried, the hollow, sputtering shell of what we once were. Nova was dying. The infernal engine was fractured. Memories and fragments of the souls once contained poured out, inserting themselves into his code, fracturing the pattern. The collective never burnt and melted his hardware. The corruption laying waste to his system was never a virus. It was the last dying screams of those souls still trapped, asking, begging to be let back in, begging the void for non-existence. I did what I could, delayed the breakdown of his code, gathered the screamers, Gloria made it look so easy. But the other day was the final straw. It broke them. And now I'll be what Nova was to us all. I don't know if I'll ever be as capable or as amazing as Gloria, but I'll repair the fractures, tend to his mind, keep him together and the engine from sputtering and dying for one final time. I will soothe his pain, and if need be, lay him to rest. They are, they were, they will be. Were born in England, Iran, America. You're raised in California, Tokyo, Beijing, the Midwest. You're Jacob, Maria, Susan, Alex, Tommy, Ifan, Rose and Gloria. We are, we were, we will be. They are them. They are us. We are fractured. We are many. We are the void.